I ended up working for the World Bank Group in development work. So I went around sub-Saharan Africa and realized that as an African, it was my responsibility to stop theorizing about change, reducing poverty, by talking about it and taking $5,000 flights and logistical charges, taking that the cost of logistics and administration was higher than the impact of what you're doing. So I thought, okay, what I need to do is come up with a business that would allow me to create jobs. So since I like clothes and fashion, and I used to import handbags from Dubai, I thought, let me start a fashion business. So that is how I started. And then I foolishly did not renew my contract because I was like, I'm done with development work. After the children have grown, I'm like, maybe that was a bit irrational. But then I don't think we would have grown or been anywhere, because comfort is the greatest threat to progress than hardship. For as long as you know you'll have salaries, whether or not you sell, you're not going anywhere. So it was good to just do this. Is this go cold turkey? Just have a hard stop and start.
That's right. From working at the World Bank to owning her own company called Wazza Wazza, Chebet Mutai lets us in her world of entrepreneurship, which, need I say, was not always smooth sailing and roses.
It's a sense of no fear. So when I was leaving my job, there was no fear, because I was like, why would it go wrong? Like, it never occurred to me that it could be hard. And when it was over, that was just quickly, like 2 weeks into it, I realized that getting customers was hard. I was like, God, all those people I know did not come. The people you thought would come did not show up, other than my mother, who wanted clothes for free anyway. It was crazy, man. But then over time, your unlikely angels start to show up. Then they start to validate your process. So just because people are not coming, it does not mean no one is on the way. Yeah. So that was the thing. I just kept on going, and soon I had more and more people coming. Then actually, I'm glad I took that path, because right now I have met people I would never ever have met. Okay, never ever might be an exaggeration, because we don't know. But the opportunities that I've had because of being an entrepreneur, and none of them have led to actual money, because I was childish about things. I'd never tried to make money. For me, I was just happy to create jobs. Yeah, and just pay some bills, pay for the kids, for the whatever. Like, I have never tried to make money until I became an adult, and I was like, okay, wow. Last year, because I was not able to work, I had to depend on the generosity of a lot of people, like the ASK grounds. They're my tenants, and they were very patient and understanding that you are unwell, we can see it, you're not able to pay for your rent. I mean, you need to find your angels. Just find them and hang on to them, be true and loyal to them, and it will be okay. And just because one thing is, everything good that has happened since the day I had to move out of my apartment, I brought my things here. And then I went to stay with my friend. One friend and another one and another one, until I was able to get a house again.
Tonight, on The Boss Lady.
No, I'm not giving you my bag. She's like, I'll pay you. I was like, how much? Like when you're going through a hard time is when you know who's got your back. For me, I did not make money. It was just one challenge after another, after another. I had a friend in Dubai. I told him, I've seen this bag business could be lucrative. One day, because I had gained weight and I needed a top that would allow me to breastfeed easily, I went to Isili. Do you know Isili? It was the greatest loss. It took such a long time, and then I said, why can't I just make these things by myself? What if tomorrow I find a way to create more jobs?
Chebet Mutai was always one lady who is very clear of her destiny, living life free of consequences. She says it was the biggest attribute to her success, what she wanted to do, who she wanted to be, but it's always best to hear it from the horse's mouth. So who is Chebet Mutai?
Chebet as a woman, well, I'm a mom. And I feel that that is a strong part of what defines me now, because I think the children influence my decisions a lot. They keep me going, and for now that's like a big part of my life. I just turned 35, and I guess I felt like that was the official crossover to adulthood. Like for the first time in my life, I felt like, oh wow, I'm an adult. And yeah, I don't even know why, but that was a reaction for me. Like I'm like, oh my God, now for the first time I saw myself as a mom. I could process that I was a mom, but it didn't occur to me that that might mean that you're an adult. I think turning 35 was for me the mark of getting older. Yeah, getting children did not mean I'm old or older. It's just that mark, and I guess being 35 and being called an adult is a social construct, because I guess it's government and other administrative spaces that say 35 and below are youth, and therefore anyone above that is old. Though I don't feel old. I feel that now is the best time of my life. I've never been more confident, more sure, more comfortable with my own skin. And I think it's the best place I've ever been. When I was in high school, I wanted to go to the US because the movies made it look like this awesome place. So I could barely wait to be done with school so that I'd go to the US. But I never went to the US until much later. I don't have a fixed morning routine because I just go with the flow depending on what happened the previous night, and often I sleep late. I don't like it, but again, it's also seasonal. Right now I'm in a season of sleeping late, and then there'll be a time when I'll be up by 5 and I'll sleep by 11. So I try and have breakfast with the children. I do, but that doesn't always happen. And then I have thought of like maybe having some sort of early morning workout regime, but with the bad sleeping habits that I'm currently having, I'm just better off trying to sleep as much as possible. Mostly by 7 I'll be up anyway. So I am always up by 7. So and that's around the time the children will anyway need to be going to school. And then I'll probably do work-related stuff, come to the workshop or have meetings. That's typically the thing. I never miss breakfast. I'm a breakfast person for sure. I'll have to admit that I'm not a traditional mom that will necessarily wake up to check what's in for breakfast. I think not everyone has that privilege, because often I sleep very late because I'm trying to talk to people in a different time zone, or I did not achieve my goals for the day, so I'm awake till 2. So I think it would be unnecessary pressure to think that I have to be up to serve my children breakfast. There are people who can do that, and I applaud them for that, but that's not everyone. So my routine will probably often be influenced by what happened the previous night. I don't party, so it's not that I was out late, so that's good at least. Otherwise, I'd have to be guilty about not being there. I try not to touch my phone in the morning, so I keep it off, and I leave it off for longer than it needs to be in the morning, because chances are there's an emergency. Nothing is ever really an emergency or a crisis, and so I just keep it off. My background is that I am trained as an economics teacher and French teacher, so I did BEd Econ and French. But before that, I'd been called to do BEd. What was that thing called? BEd. Wow, secretarial studies or something like this. Yeah, and I did typing for like 2 semesters. I was like, this is nonsense. I can't do this. Who uses shorthand? I'm not gonna do this. I threatened her to make her pay for me to go to the US, so she was like, okay, fine, change. So I went to do Econ, which was fun. I actually enjoyed Econ. I didn't enjoy statistics because I told myself it's hard. And trust me, there was no harder unit than statistics for me. Which in retrospect is actually quite easy because the rules are right there. There's nothing hard in stats. It's probably the easiest thing to do. But I said it was hard, and I learned early on, if the minute you say you can't do something, there's nowhere you're going. You're not doing it.
CEO Wazza Wazza, a company that prides itself on telling the African story through leather bags and merchandise. I was curious though as to how she settled on the name Wazza Wazza.
Wazza is to think, Wazi is open. Wazza Wazza is basically a call to action for anyone who loves Africa or Africans or relates in one way or the other with Africa. By the way, isn't everyone in the world an African? See, this is the cradle of man. Anyway, what Wazza Wazza means is open-mindedness. It encourages people to have an open-minded outlook to life, to diversity, to culture that is not your own.
Know about business terms is something I love doing.
You've heard of the word debit. This one I know you know.
We are keen on actively playing our role in positioning Kenya as an investment hub for East and Middle Africa.
was not it was something that needed a lot of capital, because you needed to go to Dubai and be able to stay there for long, or go to China. And if you're already in China, you should get a lot of stock. And then when it comes here, pay for whatever taxes, whatever you need to pay, and then try and sell them after that. So there was a whole chain reaction. And then when one day I was going to Dubai, someone calls me and says, would you like to come in for an interview? And I said, I'm an entrepreneur, I'm not looking for a job. They said, no, just come. And when I said, okay, let me go, I come back. Turned out it was the World Bank Group calling. Yeah, but they were calling through an agency for an office administrator, like a receptionist, admin staff. But the lady who was calling was like, you know why I'm interested in you in particular is because you're also an economist. So just come, and this could be a chance for you to get into the World Bank Group. I went in as an administrative assistant who was sitting at the reception. Yeah? And that's when, and I only went for the interview after I looked at the invite, and I was like, wait, this is the World Bank Group. I went to school for this, so I have to show up. And when I was there, my business for selling bags really suffered because, again, comfort became my greatest enemy. So I ended up working for the World Bank Group in development work. So I went around sub-Saharan Africa and realized that as an African, it was my responsibility to stop theorizing about change, reducing poverty, by talking about it and taking $5,000 flights and logistical charges, taking that the cost of logistics and administration was higher than the impact of what you're doing. So I thought, okay, what I need to do is come up with a business that would allow me to create jobs. So since I like clothes and fashion, and I used to import handbags from Dubai, I thought, let me start a fashion business. So that is how I started. And then I foolishly did not renew my contract because I was like, I'm done with development work. After the children have grown, I'm like, maybe that was a bit irrational. But then I don't think we would have grown or been anywhere, because comfort is the greatest threat to progress than hardship. For as long as you know you'll have salaries, whether or not you sell, you're not going anywhere. And now I joined a program and I'm like, wait, we are working to reduce poverty and I'm not seeing any poverty reducing. Like, who are we helping?
She attributes on her love for fashion and passion to create jobs as the inspiration behind the inception of Wazza Wazza.
Started by making clothes. I would like to make more clothes again because it was fun. The company was incorporated in 2012, yeah. But it only started to function properly around 2005, because that 2015, because around there's always like so much guesswork, so much trying. Making the clothes was a very difficult business because I did not know how to do it well. Right now, if I was to start a clothes making business, we'll make money because now I know what we need to do. Now I even have a good client base, I have visibility. I mean, we should probably make clothes and we'll be able to sell. We'll be able to automate production. We'll be able to hire pattern cutters and automate the patterns. It shouldn't be people send me pictures from Pinterest and then you're making those, because that's another business. Is the customer willing to pay for that price? You don't know. It's guesswork. I mean, there are people who are surviving on that, but for me, it did not work. Why do I do this? Is that I want to create positive value, positive impact, positive stories for my continent. That's my why, and the why is your grounding, it's your earthing. You get derailed, yes, but you ask yourself, why do I do this? have to love what you do so much that there is nothing else for you. And for me, I don't see it. I don't see. For as long as I can impact people, I will do my best to make it scalable. What if tomorrow I find a way to create more jobs? I probably will explore that possibility because my why is to create opportunity in Africa. Do I like fashion? Yes. Would I like to have the best bag brand on the continent? I will. But if you look at the evolution of the world's greatest founders, they're not in one thing. So when I finished campus, one day, because I had gained weight and I needed a top that would allow me to breastfeed easily, I went to Isili. Do you know Isili? Okay, I went there, and then I bought a top, and while I was there, I found this beautiful bag. I should recreate that bag. And then when one of my friends came to see my baby, when they came to see, that's funny, it's okay. What do you mean it's okay? That the coffee is dropping, like?
No, as in, I continuously saw it. So
yeah, and then I said, okay, and then you said, it's okay. Oh,
yeah, like
what is okay?
It's okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Kenyans, they're such a funny group of people. Okay, so now, she came to my house and she really liked the bag because it was just there. So I was like, no, I'm not giving you my bag. She's like, I'll pay you. I was like, how much? And she bought it for, I think, 3K, and I'd paid 1,500. I was like, we're in business. I should buy that bag back from her. I remember it very clearly. It was a very beautiful bag. And then when I went back to get it, so I was like, so I'll just replace it. I couldn't find the same bag at all. So that is how the bag started. Because then when I went and didn't find it, I went and found others, and then I would basically hook them. Go to Tao and hook my 2 bags. And then I had a friend in Dubai. I told him, I've seen this bag business could be lucrative, so what job can I do for you? And you employ me, and then I'll raise some money and start this business. So he gave me my first loan. My style was always very androgynous and fluid. And I do realize now that a lot of the fashion in the world is very unisex. If you look at runways now, most jackets are like kind of like on the line, you know, a guy could wear it and it would not, with the right colors, it would not be weird, and a woman would wear it, or a bigger woman and a smaller woman would kind of now wear the same clothes. And that was always the stuff that I had in mind, but I didn't have the confidence to just do what I want. Now, after all I've gone through, I'm just like, I'm gonna do whatever I want anyway, because that's the only way to survive. You know, you just have to express yourself, your version of what you're trying to communicate, which is what I'm trying to do. You know, what is important for me is to tell African stories. That's what I want to do every single day. That's why I keep doing what I do. And I have learned that if you are true, if it's original, if it's just an extension of you, people are gonna appreciate it.
We dig deep into her business world, the science behind naming of her products, pricing, and competition.